Welcome to Mr. and Missed Connections. I'm your host, Andrew.
And I'm Leilani.
Welcome to the podcast where we go to a random city's Missed Connection section and read the posts where some are looking for love and others are just looking for a little Hakuna Matata in their worries for the rest of your days.
No.
No?
No.
Well,
I was going to kind of give you it, and then you just kept going with it,
Hakuna
and
Matata.
it's like, nah.
Hakuna Matata was some...
Especially it has nothing to do with where we're going to. So that's why I'm kind of confused.
We're trying to make a carefree living for the rest of everybody's days. I just keep saying the same phrase.
Yeah, I was like, you're so not with it right now.
Like, hey,
no.
do you want to explain it? It's like that one like word, like a vocabulary word that's like, what does that mean? And you just keep saying the word in a sentence to be
and
like,
it still doesn't make
that's
sense.
what it means.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing with that opening.
All right. Well, at least we got that done and over with.
Yeah. You guys got to give me a break because we haven't been here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We had a Valentine's debacle, which, I mean, it wasn't really a debacle. It was just Valentine's Day. So we kind of just, like, pieced out. And then the next week, I was sick on Monday. You were out on Tuesday. And then we came together Wednesday, and we both weren't 100%. So we decided not to hurt the good reputation that we already have at podcasting.
What reputation?
Exactly. And we decided to not do it. So, yeah. So now we're back. Better than ever. Am I right?
Yeah, we're at 100.
Oh my gosh, I am at 150 freaking %.
You're at like 54% right now.
I'm so frustrated still. But on must go the show.
Uh-huh.
This week we're in Richmond, Virginia. Virginia.
I hate driving through that freaking state.
I've never been that far.
Good God.
Driving. The state I hated driving through pretty recently was South Carolina.
Oh, I like driving through there.
I despised the way we went, I guess. There was a lot of just 2-lane highways, a lot of trucks while we were driving on those 2-lane highways, and there was nothing to see. So I was just like, this sucks.
Were you driving at night?
No, I was driving during the day.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
And it was horrible.
I don't know what
It was
way you were
complete and utter dog poo. I'm going to sound weird. There we go.
Were you closing the door?
Yeah, I was closing the door.
Ah.
I didn't want your side to come off weird because of the opening.
Oh, because it's not reverberating off of anything.
I'm not a scientific man. I got a business degree because I was like, I don't want to deal with science anymore. And I didn't have to.
I still took science. It was very interesting.
I took cultural anthropology. Is that a science?
What the hell's that?
Cultural anthropology.
What's that?
It's basically just learning about other people's cultures.
Oh, that's it?
And being like, yeah, you can either be a documentarian or you could be a teacher. And that's what my cultural anthropology teacher said.
Cool.
Yeah. One of my exes was like, I'm going to be an anthropologist because they can do so many cool things in A, B, and C. And I was just like, no, they're not. She's now a real estate agent.
Dang.
Oh, man. I like the part in Archer. Have you seen the Archer when he gets on that island with David Cross? And he's like the leader of the people. And then people.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's like, he says something and he's like, I'm an anthropologist. And he's like, I think we know all the species of spider. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Anyways, we're in Richmond, Virginia. You hate it? I don't know it. I'm a virgin to Virginia. Wow. But before that, let's get to the news. That's my old typecasting newscaster.
This is why I sometimes wish this was recorded so people can understand. It's not me just sitting in silence. It's me giving Andrew a look.
It's definitely just you sitting in silence.
And wondering why I'm here. Sometimes.
You're going a full 21 pilots on me, and you're just
sitting in silence.
No, just sit in silence. So we're gonna get to the news, which is the mere exposure effect. This is from Social Psycho Online or PsychOnline.com.
Just psycho.
Yeah, because I saw Social Psycho and then end line. So I was like, I read it wrong. The mirror exposure effect. It's a pretty long article, but I'm just gonna read the few paragraphs and then we're gonna talk about it. The mirror exposure effect. You have probably had the experience of hearing a new song and not caring for it much at first. We learned this from Fall Out Boy's song, Dead on Arrival. Do you remember that song?
I know that song.
Dead on... There's a lyric that says the songs that your favorite songs never stick at first.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess that lyric didn't stick on me then.
If I would have thought we were gonna do that, I would have listened to the song, but I haven't listened to it in years. But
I don't think a lot of people listen to Fall Out Boy in a couple of years.
They had a new CD out and they were on a Pepsi commercial, so you're wrong.
They're wrong.
How does it feel to be so wrong?
Yeah, they're relevant. Okay.
You find that you really do enjoy the song and catch yourself humming it when you least expect to. This phenomenon is one example of the mirror exposure effect. Basically, the more you see or hear something, more you like it. I didn't say that wrong. That's how it was written. More you like it. In other words, we tend to like things more when they're familiar to us, even if they're familiar for a goofy reason. In the original demonstration of this effect, Robert Zajarnik showed his participant images that they didn't already have extreme reactions to. Example, foreign words, Chinese characters, or faces of strangers. These participants were asked to just rate how pleasant the images were. Now, some of the participants were seeing the image for the first time when they rated it, but other participants had already seen the image before. Some people had seen it just one time, some people had seen it a few times, and some people had seen it as many as 25 times. The results were clear. The more they had already been exposed to the image, the more they said they liked it. Over the years, psychologists have shown that this happens for a range of stimuli, including paintings, colors, flavors, and geometric figures. The more times people had been exposed to the stimulus, the more they ended up liking it. And then they had a social experiment where, I guess, they had like 3 different girls, and one of the girls showed up only twice to the class, the other one showed up like just less than 10 times, and the other girl showed up like 20 something times. And then the class like reviewed, like went over which one they thought was prettier or more attractive, and they all picked the one that they've seen in class more times. Basically, the more you see it, the more you hear it, the more you like it. It's kind of like a radio song where you hear the song like once and you're just like, I don't like it. And then like a week straight of hearing it throughout the time, you're like, get more and more used to like, oh yeah, it's this song. I had that with Scotty McCreery's new song because I listened to country in my spare time, and I hated that song, and now I'm like, oh, it's this song, cool. I like it, maybe, sometimes. What about you? Have you had this effect recently in your life?
I don't know. It's like, I get what they're saying and all that, but then I also feel as though it does another flip side of people hating something because you're getting so accustomed to it. I mean, okay, I can take this in that sense, that whole theory with friends. Mm-hmm. Usually, my closest friends, who I consider family, I hated them in the very beginning, like enemies and all that. Mm-hmm. But then, I guess the more and more I hung out with them, I'm like, oh, we actually do have a lot in common.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in the wrong. And then, so we became best friends. So, yeah, I can, something like that. But usually, to me, if I like something like right off the bat. So, especially like with music. So.
Okay. Yeah, the way you were talking, it reminded me of, what is it? Oh my gosh. The How I Met Your Mother, where it's Josh Radnor's character, I can't remember his character's name. Ted? Yeah, Ted. Ted and Marshall were driving, and they had a tape stuck in the cassette player, and it was that I Would Walk 500 Miles. and I would walk 500 more, and they kept on like listening to it, and they're just like, oh, I don't really like this song. Well, just wait, you're gonna hit a high. And then they started loving it, like, and then they hated it, and then they liked it again, and then it's like it's on its way back up.
That's exactly what happened with the road trip. It was me, my friend Jason, and Amber, and he had, for some odd reason, he had Godsmack, their first album, stuck in his player, and we were coming from, like, where were we? I think we were coming from Georgia or something like that. It wasn't that far, but it was a long trip. And then the CD wouldn't pop on until exactly when we went into Amber's driveway, and then all of a sudden it finally ejected. But we had to listen to the whole thing over and over. And if I hear I Need Serenity like one more time, I was going to shoot myself in the face.
Oh man. So yeah.
Like, I get their theory with that, like, the more and more, because if you go with, like, the whole dating thing, like, a lot of people judge someone off the bat at the first date, which I feel as though you should at least go on 3 consecutive dates, so by the third one, you kind of feel like, okay, we either really do have a connection, or we really don't have a connection. It just not, the first date doesn't really, I don't think you can really gather how the person is from the first date.
Yeah, I can see that. And I mean, that's happened, like, I think this is where, like, office crushes and, like, that kind of stuff happens. Because I remember just, like, being at work when we worked at another place with way more people.
You can't say it.
I don't want to say it. And you just see the people walking around, and you're just like, ugh, like, no, thank you. And then, like, after a while, like, 3 months of just seeing them in the break room, you're just like, okay. Like, but in my mind, I'm like, is that just my, like, expectations just, like, shaving down every time I see them? Or is it like, have you ever had the thing that happened when you, like, see somebody and, like, they're so good looking that you're just like, no. But then you saw, like, somebody else that wasn't as good looking as this person, and then you're like, they're way hotter to me because, like, they're not as hot. No? That's not, you never had that?
I need an example. You need a, after the podcast, you need to show me examples of, like...
Oh my gosh.
I'm a visual person.
I'm trying to think of an example.
Because... I mean, if I find the person attractive, I find the person attractive. I mean, there's not really that many levels.
There's not that many levels? You never had, like...
I mean, okay. Yes, there's, like, guys, like, that I've been with that are, like, freaking hot. And then other ones that aren't, per se. But then their personality makes up way more than the hot dude.
Because I've had this, like, in my mind where it's like... I'll see somebody, like, out on the streets. Like, I'll see 2 different girls, right? In 2 different areas. Or they're friends or whatever. Or, like, I don't know. I mean...
The examples is horrible.
Just
already.
say... I'm still frustrated about what happened at the beginning.
Dude,
so I'm trying to figure it out.
Video.
So I'm trying to figure it out. No, they're, like, friends. Like, say you're at Target and there's one... there'll be, like, one girl where she's, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to say, like, there's...
What are you trying to say, Andrew? Because it sounds like you're going to say something that's probably going to... It just sounds horrible, and you're not trying to. Is this what you're trying to go at?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm trying to come at.
I feel like you're doing that.
I'm trying to
Because you're hesitating with seeing what you really want to feel.
I think I'm more hesitant at, like, trying to figure out a good example. But it's going to be like that word one that just saying the same words over and over again. Because it's like... Because I don't know. I don't know exactly what... Okay, so say... Okay, I think I have an example. So say, like Joe Magniello walks in.
Okay.
And then... I don't know. Crap. I don't know a non... I can't tell the difference of, like, attractiveness in guys. Like, I can't figure out what, like, a good comparison. I'm just trying to say that there is, like, different levels of, like, I think of attractiveness you can be to a person depending on how attractive they are.
Okay.
Does that make a little bit of sense? Where it's like, where you're like, whoa, that person's super attractive. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, they're 50. I'm like, it's almost like I'm too intimidated because of how attractive they are. And then I'm also saying that they would never get with me. So who cares?
Okay.
And then you look at like their friend, and their friend is like maybe an 8 out of 10. And by comparison, you're just like, oh, she's way more attractive to me because she's more approachable, rather than the girl that's 50 and...
So isn't they made that movie or something like that with it, where usually the girls that are like prettier hang out with one girl that makes them look prettier?
Oh, the Duff?
Yes. So you like the Duffs.
I like Hillary Duff.
There you go.
And she ain't no Duff. I don't know, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
You're a strange individual.
I'm just trying to bring up conversation that makes sense.
It doesn't, though. I mean, it does, but okay. All right.
Like, you've never had that reaction where you're just like, oh, that guy is amazing, but that guy is not as amazing, but because he's not as amazing, he's more amazing.
So, because they're less attractive, you think you have a chance with them, so then you go after them versus the ones that you could have taken a chance anyways?
I guess.
Just because you're intimidated? So, less intimidating people that you like.
I guess.
Okay.
This is going to be the number one episode of our podcast. It's just me being frustrated for 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. I guess that's where I was going with it.
I guess I'm nervous around dudes no matter what, so I don't see a difference.
Yeah, join the club, honey. No, I'm just kidding.
I know you're nervous around dudes.
I couldn't care less about dudes. It's more, I don't know. I don't know.
What, dude?
I think my self-confidence, like I just don't think anybody's gonna go at me, so I'm just like, I don't care what I do in front of these people, and then there'll be that one hot girl, and then I'm like, oh my god, like, she didn't care anyways. So it's just like, I don't know. To me, it's just like, who cares at this point? Like, yeah. I'm like, I know people don't want to listen to this anyways, but there's this guy, Jeff Ramsey, on the Rooster Teeth stuff and Let's Play, and he just, at a certain point, he just didn't give a crap of what he looked like on camera. And, like, I'm at that point where I'm just like, I hope, like, my hair's fine, but after that, it's just like, I don't care.
Like, but yeah, you still get your hair cut, you still style your hair.
Yeah, that's more for me, though.
Oh,
because I hate looking like a buffoon. I'm just saying. In my eyes, I look like a buffoon where my sides just, like, poof out. And then I'm like, I don't want to project myself out like that. So, but I'm not doing it to, like, attract all these people like I'm a peacock. And you gotta let me learn how to fly.
Oh my god. Okay, Mark Wahlberg.
Mac Wahlberg. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's where, like, school crushes come from. You just see them. They're also very accessible if you're always seeing them over and over again. And I think that could add to the effect of, like, oh yeah, these people are way more attractive because I see them constantly. They're always around. I'm familiar with them, especially if you're talking with them.
Yeah. They're
very familiar. So, I mean, I get the mere exposure effect, but yeah. I mean, kudos on that dude. I mean, I just want to be like, I want to go back in time and just, like, come up with all the stuff that just seems like common sense and just be like, I have scientific fact that this is what happens. It's like, I put a dog in a box and he did this. I knew he would do it, but I wanted to know why. And I made a paper and now my name is in articles that are written poorly on online websites for years and years to come after I've already died. But no, that's not gonna happen. Now we have to come up with, like, random weird facts that go up on the news every day. Like, do you like your AC in your car? Well, when you get inside, it might cause you cancer. Have you not heard that fact?
No.
That's a new thing. That's a new study. If you go into your car, you're supposed to roll down your windows and turn on your AC because all the plastic is really hot and it goes into your air system and it's going to push it out into you and then be stuck in your car and then you get cancer because you're breathing in carcinogenic plastics.
Well, I know I do that anyways, just because I'm figuring that I'm letting out the hot air, but you live in Florida, it doesn't matter if you roll your windows down or not. Hot air is just going to seep through. Yeah. So we're all going to get cancer in Florida because I'm
like, it's a little too late for this. But I mean, at least 30 different segments are things that cause you cancer. I remember growing up, milk, they said would cause you cancer. And then just plastic, putting your stuff in plasticware would cause you cancer. And I'm just like...
Oh, is that why they had the BPA-free stuff now with the plastic?
I guess so. But I'm just like... what else? I think that was like very close together, they said those two. So I'm just like, what else is going to happen?
Technically, it doesn't really give you cancer because I still believe that we have the viruses living within us. It's just certain things trigger it during a certain time depending on what you do with your body. So if maybe whatever that we do like with plastic that triggers something in you versus someone else for whatever reason for genetics.
Yeah, I can see that. No, so. I agree. I mean, it's almost like the survival of the fittest, but just in a different realm nowadays because it's like we don't have to worry about like animals coming up. A majority of us don't have to worry about animals coming by every day and like clawing us to death. So now it's just like different other things that are going to come in and then it's just going to take out some people here and not other people there.
We just have to worry about humankind. That's it. Killing us.
Yeah, well, no, can't stop that. Can we?
Kind of.
I don't know.
It's called the Hunger Games.
It's called psychopaths and they're everywhere, basically. Yeah, so did you want to add anything else to this?
No.
Do you have any more?
I think I'm good. I think I got my point of view across.
Okay.
Why do we still have more time?
I mean, we have all the time in the world. I just didn't know if you had anything else before we get to the articles, get to the post of missed connections on Virginia.
No, I don't think I got anything.
All right. Sounds good. So let's get to Virginia. All right. We are in Virginia. So I have about 10 posts. Some of them are very short. Some of them don't make sense. That's on your fault, Virginia. I'm just saying. So let's get to it. This one I only picked because of the title, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Sorry, I'm choking on a yolk peppermint patty. My bad. Go ahead.
Okay. It's all good. This one I did because of the title, and it's really, really stupid. It says, I literally gave you the moon for your birthday.
Oh my god, please don't. Go ahead. I already have a feeling about what this is going to be about.
I don't think you do.
Really?
Because it has nothing to do with the moon and the thing.
The moon?
The moon. Are you ever going to give me the closure I need? I'm having a hard time being free since you broke my heart. I gave so much to you. Can you please give me this little back? I won't take more than 5 minutes of your time. Please. That was the whole post.
That was it?
Yeah, that's it.
How the hell did you give her the moon? The moon.
I just don't... I literally gave you the moon.
No, you didn't.
I figuratively. I want to think that, like, they went on that one, like, those websites where it's, like, those stars. You could pay to, like, take those stars and stuff.
Don't hate on that. I did that once.
You didn't buy anything. You bought a piece of paper.
I know exactly where it's at.
I could make a certificate online saying you bought it. And then send it to you in the mail.
I was very naive and I thought it was a cute gesture. Shut up.
So yeah, you did not literally give this person the moon. You're an idiot, and that's why he doesn't want to talk to you. He probably saw the certificate the moon. And he just is like, really? I'm out of here.
This is it? This is all I get?
Yeah, and he peaced out. So, this one isn't a missed connections, but this is to help all the ladies out in Virginia. It's titled, Ladies Needing a Little Help. Any nice ladies out there need some help? Between jobs, etc.? Send me a recent photo, rated G. Tell me what's going on that has made it tough and what type of work you usually do. ...
Why do you need to send a picture for someone to help you with a job? That isn't... I mean, it's rated G for now.
I have no idea. It's so mysterious that I love it.
Dude, that just... No, that's porn. That is such porn.
But he needs a rated G photo.
What if it's soft porn?
And what made it tough? And what type of work do you usually do?
So basically, he's he's going off of girls who have it rough and all that, like preying on them. Mm-hmm. And so he's going, dude, seriously, your pictures?
I mean,
he could just be taking pictures and fapping to them, and then that's it. Yeah, no.
Any nice ladies? Mm-mm. So if any nice ladies need help,
no, do not do that. Absolutely do not.
You could possibly reach out. We don't suggest it, but you could.
You're gonna get killed.
This one's called Dakota with 2 exclamation points. Hey, we met here on Craigslist and you invited me over early one morning. You were very friendly and I was very nervous. Well, I'm hoping to find you again. Tell me what street you live on so I know it's you. So this guy knows what street she lives on. But I guess he doesn't want to do the stalker way and just thought, hey, we met on here once. We can do it again.
Yeah.
You defied the odds once, and now you're trying to defy the odds a second time?
It could be serendipitous.
What do you think you are? You think you're, Kelly Clarkson? For a moment like this.
No, absolutely
Some
not.
people wait a lifetime.
Stop.
For that one post on Craigslist. I can't believe it's happening to me.
I can't believe that you're actually keep singing this song.
So people wait a lifetime. This is another one where I think it's like this person knows why they didn't do what they needed to do. Prairie Grain Bread Company at 11:15 or so today. I came in to pick up a cup of coffee after running an errand, and you were placing an order. After placing the order, you picked up some chips and a soft drink next to the coffee counter. We struck up a conversation and I mentioned that they didn't have the type of bread I was looking for. You pointed out that on certain days they have it and let me know that I could get it at a nearby grocery store. You're very attractive and I should have introduced myself. I was a little shy and I wish I had. I'd love to meet you for coffee or something during the day. Tell me what type of bread I was looking for and I'll tell you which grocery store you suggested and the color of your eyes. That way, we'll know we have the right person. Fingers crossed.
I want to know what kind of bread he was looking for.
I just think it's like, you're the most boring dude.
Why?
If you were being like... I want to think like this woman was like standing at the counter, like getting her stuff ready. And he was just like striking up a conversation and she was just like not having it. Like he was just like, hey. And she was just like, hey. And he was like, wow, can't believe they don't have artisan Asiago with cheese today. Yeah. Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And then she's just like, you can get it from the grocery store, like down the street. And he's just like, oh, that's really great. Thank you. And then she just like picked up her bag of chips and soft drink and ran out of the store. And then he's just like, wow, we really hit it off. She talked to me.
Did this happen to you? Because you play that off very well with that whole scenario.
No, I've seen it a lot of times on movies. And it's just like, it's just so funny to me to think that way. But anyways. Yeah, I just think you're just boring.
That's messed up to assume that the guy's boring.
Why not ask? Why not ask about her stuff or...
It's just...
Hey, what'd you get? That looks really good.
It's an icebreaker or something. I mean,
They don't got my bread.
Come on. Wow. People can't think, like, on their feet like that.
And also, it just makes me think, like, another reason where she wasn't into it was to say, like, sometimes they have the bread, sometimes they don't. Like, sometimes when I come in here, they have that type of bread. You know what? That's crazy that they don't have it.
I have some faith that maybe he met his match, his bread match.
He didn't. He didn't meet his other slice.
Needs to be a whole loaf.
He didn't.
His other end piece.
He didn't find the ham that's in the love ham life.
Yeah.
My brain just like. All right, let's go to the next one.
Yeah, please.
This one's called Silence Kid, Man for Woman. Now this one's different. I don't know how it's a misconnection, but it's like very just positive. It's super positive. Good. So, hey, I just want to take a minute and tell you that I'm proud of you. The sheer nature of the work you're doing wins my full respect, and I know your heart is in it. But the confidence and dedication and tenacity with which you take on these challenges you seem to find just has me bursting at the seams. You know, I think they really needed the smartest, sweetest, funniest, coolest, most creative and dedicated and badass chick with the biggest heart to come through there and make awesome things happen. And I think that's exactly what they got. That was all one sentence. You have always been an inspiration to me, and I'm so glad that other people get to see how absolutely effing wonderful you are. So go show them what you're made of, kiddo. With everything, be.
That was really upbeat.
Yeah. Also super desperate.
Wow. Wow, dude.
I mean, you know, I think they really needed the smartest, sweetest, funniest, coolest, most creative and dedicated and badass chick with the biggest heart.
So?
That should have been like, I think I'm very thirsty, the thirstiest, thirsty, very thirsty, desperate. Nobody talks to me. I'm thirsty. Please, I have the biggest heart. Just talk to me once.
You are so jaded, young man. So jaded.
I'm not jaded.
You are jaded.
I'm not jaded. I'm not the little kid in the Jackie Chan Adventures, Jade. I'm not Will Smith's kid, Jaden.
You are. You very much are.
I don't. That was Willow. I was gonna say with my hair back and forth.
Yeah,
what's the newest Jaden song that just came out?
I know they make fun of it, like him getting out of like. Yeah. I think it's like a Lamborghini or something like that.
Yeah, I know Will Smith reacted to it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You're very unmemorable.
Wow.
Jaden Smith. Woman that brought up sex at Wegmans dining area. Man for woman.
What?
We were sitting at adjoining tables and chattered a bit. You brought up sex, then seemed embarrassed and left. I wasn't expecting that to come up, and you got embarrassed and left before I could respond. You called me an attractive older man. You were great looking. I really missed a good connection, maybe. You called me an attractive older man.
Like, how old is that?
I don't know.
Was she like 12 or something like that?
I hope not, because she brought up sex.
Teenagers nowadays. Well, that's not even a teenager yet, but yeah, kids nowadays.
I mean, realistically, with how the world is nowadays, it's not that hard to bring it up in any conversation.
Yeah,
I mean, and to be like, oh, you brought it up and seemed embarrassed and left. Like, I don't know, maybe I don't know.
How would you just bring that up to a total stranger, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like an innuendo? Yeah, I get it, but not full on just talking about sex.
Yeah. To me, it just sounds like somebody sat down and then like they were just talking and then it just completely is just like had to leave. Go, get out of here. Nobody's there.
Yeah, I don't, that just... Or maybe it's one of the things, like, sometimes you know how you have something in your head, and then you're wanting to say it, but then all of a sudden it does come out, and you're like, oh, crap, I actually said that. And then you're just like, yeah, I'm going to leave now.
Yeah. Also, how, like, she brought it up after she said that he was an attractive older man?
Like, maybe she's testing the waters with it? and
I don't know. This is
maybe
very...
thought it was a very bad idea afterwards.
It's super confusing.
Because I've done that too. I've said something, I was like, oh, that did not come out right. So, maybe.
Yeah, this is just weird. That whole conversation was weird, because why would she say you're attractive and then say it and then just get up and leave?
Could have been a dare.
Possibly. Maybe. Maybe this is like, we'll see this prank on a YouTube channel later.
Because I've done that a lot where people, like, but this was back in the day where I had to write a number and message and leave it for our waiter, then we bail. So.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Prank versus prank. This one's called You Were the One, N. I loved you so much. You were the first person who said they wanted a kid, where I, instead of freaking out, I immediately thought, with her, yes. I really thought we had a future together. You made me feel wanted and alive. I loved your laugh and how excited you get when you talked about traveling together. I missed your wit. I never felt this sure about another person was right for me. I can't believe you're never going to speak to me again. This is the worst pain I've ever felt. I just like how this is how they figured out that they think they're the one, was because she just brought up a kid and he was just like, yeah, okay. Like every other time was like, no. It's kind of like it reminds me of like do you remember How Do You Know? That movie, How Do You Know, with Reese Witherspoon, Jack Nicholson, and Owen Wilson and Paul Rudd.
No.
It was very unmemorable. A lot of people don't remember the title of it because it's like, how do you know?
Yeah.
Basically, Reese Witherspoon is just like at a weird point in her life, and she's dating Owen Wilson, who is a baseball player. I don't know how, because he didn't like bulk up for the thing. It's just him just walking around in a baseball uniform.
Yeah, no.
And he was like talking to the other baseball, like, I'm a sports fan, so I don't even know his teammates. There we go. I was gonna say baseball colleagues. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, my brain's not working.
I was like, you watch sports.
But yeah, I know. But my brain's not working. So he's like talking to this guy, and he's just like, how do I know I'm in love? And he's just like, his teammate's just like, oh, when I use, you know how I can tell when I'm in love? When I start using a condom with the other girls. And then Owen Wilson was like, oh, dang, I'm in love. And
what the? Wow.
And then this is what this guy reminds me of, where he's just like, it's not like, hey, I love her because I think about her every single freaking moment of the day when I'm with her. Like, angels are singing behind me and my heart can't stop pounding really fast. It's more like every other girl that's brought up kids, I was like, hell nah, and ran. But with you, I was like, yeah, okay.
Wow. You're
That's what it...
so horrible tonight.
What? That's what it reminded me of. It's not like, yo, girl, we went together and I can't believe.
Things that he says that he really likes and he wants to... Sounds like he's ready to settle with her. Settle down. Not settle, but settle down.
Talking about traveling together, that's it? Like, oh, I love the thought that we were going to travel and possibly have a kid with each other.
Maybe that's all he needs.
No, it's not. Nobody needs that.
Wow. Wow.
This one's for a missing person.
What? Are we doing this again with a missing person?
Maybe not. All right, anyways.
What do you mean? No. Remember, we had that one. See, man, we didn't do an episode where we go back and do updates about things. Because that one girl... Fine. Give you ideals.
I can't remember. I and I don't want to go back to it.
Fine.
You always have to look forward. You always have to look forward in your life.
All right. No more ideas.
This one's called Virgin Wanting Help. Man for a woman. I'm an 18-year-old virgin. Want to lose my virginity. Age doesn't matter at all. I really have a thing for older women. The older you are, the better. And he's 18.
Really? You picked that? You can't do a missing person one, but you'll do that one. Some 18-year-old wanting to lose their virginity.
Yeah, on
Come
misconnections.
on.
Can I just say that's the number one spot to just like instant death? If you're just like, anybody want it? Like, and nobody wants that. Like, I've never heard women talk, but it's like that whole thing, like, ooh, he's a virgin. Like, I want to deflower him. Like, is that a thing? Because I know, like, in a lot of, like, movies and, like, men culture or whatever, it's always like, oh, she's a virgin. That's really cool. I want to do this. But I've never heard on the other foot where it's like women are like, oh, he's a virgin. Like, oh, yeah. Like.
Yeah, no. No, I think, I mean, to me, I'd rather have someone with experience versus not. So, yeah. I don't know. And it still boggles my mind with the whole, like, virginity things with dudes, with girls, and it just makes my stomach curl.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a woman on The Bachelor who was like, I'm still a virgin. And that was her, like, main tag was, like, she's never had sex before. And, like, just being on the show, I'm instantly like, you've done everything else but. Like, that's all I can think about with these people.
Wow.
Not just her. I mean, everybody on the show. I've just felt like, if you're over here, like, I'm going to share my man that I could possibly spend the rest of my life with 25 other women, then in a game type show kind of thing that's reality, not really. If you're calling yourself a virgin, I doubt it. In other ways, like, you can't just be completely, like, sustained from, like...
Well, okay. I get your point.
That's what I'm saying.
I get your point with that.
Also, an article came out that most people get rejected from participating on The Bachelor and Bachelorette due to diseases.
How many people... Do they test for that when they go on? Are you serious?
Yeah, because you're going to be swapping saliva with whoever the Bachelor or Bachelorette is, most likely, if you get very far. And if you got a little cold sore and you give it to them, they're going to give it to, like, 5 other people. They kiss now on the very first night. Like, these women or men meet this person, total stranger, who's being pulled in 25 or 30 different directions. And it's now like, oh, you're really cute. I know you from this season. I want to mac on you. And they just mac on each other. Like, the first night. That used to be taboo until, like later when they shave off some people.
Yeah.
Now it's just like the first night. It's like 2 hours into the night. It's just like, oh, they're just kissing now.
Oh, that's no different than a Tinder date, so.
So I'm just, that's where, but yeah, they test for that.
At least they're tested, though.
Because, I mean, they can find ways to do all the different deeds during the show. Like Chris Harrison, the host, came out and was just like...
I thought you were going to say Chris Hansen.
No, Harrison. Some people are asking, like, who got the most action. And he said the one time they had a comedian on there, and he just was, like, a normal-looking guy, and he was just, like, very approachable and all that stuff. And he was a little bit, like, rounder. But, I mean, he wasn't, like, your typical, like, abs, like, lives in the gym kind of guy. He was just, like, a normal-looking guy. Mm-hmm. And that dude just took advantage of every moment he had in the spotlight with this show. And they said he had relations with, like, five different women on the show throughout the show.
Dang.
Yeah. And then I want to say The Bachelor before Ari's season, there was a girl that was like, oh yeah, I'm a virgin. Like, the whole thing was like she's never had it before. Mm-hmm. And then it's heavily implied that they had it on the show, because she walked out of his, like, hotel room and they had, like, a whole, like, you remember 500 Days of Summer with Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yeah.
They had that kind of scene where she's, like, dancing. She came out of his hotel room. Well, there's a whole dancing montage because they, like, have sex for the first time, him and Zoe. Oh. Or I can't remember. They either had a connection or they spent the night with each other, either with sex or without it, and he, like, left to go to work, and he's just, like, dancing, and then, like, construction workers all come to dance behind him, and then, like, there's a little bluebird that they put in post and went on his shoulder, and he's like, and Hall & Oates is playing in the background. So they had something like that where she's just, like, she got out of his, like, hotel room, and then she's, like, dancing around, walking around on all the sidewalks and jumping on benches, and she's just, like, And it was like heavily implied, like, yeah, they did stuff, and then he just didn't pick her.
Wow. See.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great way to lose your virginity on television, and then not get
deuces. I mean, that used to be a huge thing on Big Brother. Like, there was every season there was like at least one couple that would like try to like hide stuff and like, oh, we're in the dark, and it's like there's cameras and we're a big production.
There's mics everywhere.
We have mics. We can see through the dark on these lenses. And yeah, there's always the one couple that was like, would try to do like dirty stuff underneath the covers and whatnot. Most of the time it wasn't like full on intercourse, but it was like different like hand stuff and whatnot that they could see. But lately nobody gets into showmances and does that. They just sit around on top of the covers just like talking about their lives and boring stuff. And I'm over here like, the challenge is way better.
Wow.
All right, let's do the last two. Long lost brother, woman for man. I'm looking for my brother. His name is James Edward Jackson Jr. Wow. The only information I have is that he was born on September 8th, 1974, is white, has hazel green eyes, and brown-black hair. Our mom, Lily Faye Jackson, hasn't seen him in about 20 years, so she doesn't know what he looks like or what his height is. He was also once married to a woman named Vanessa. Our mother lost contact with him when he moved from Honaker, Virginia. Honaker? It's
Honker?
It's like a country guy trying to say Hanukkah. Honaker?
Oh my god.
We gotta go get that Honaker stand. You know that Honaker stand?
Oh my god.
She deeply regrets losing contact with him, and she wanted to make it all right. According to her, she thinks he's still in Virginia, but maybe in counties and cities surrounding Honaker. She has had 5 strokes and is slowly dying.
Oh my god.
If someone knows where he is, please contact me on here. This is a long shot, but we are running out of time.
That's really sad.
That is really sad. That reminds me of when my grandfather died. We had to find my uncle, who we haven't talked to in like years, and I couldn't imagine going on Craigslist and being like, hey, if you know where, like we had like an idea of where, like my uncle, who's married to my aunt, so he's like my uncle by marriage, was like, oh, I have this guy that works like as a private eye on the side, and like we talked to him. We gave him like my uncle's name and like some different characteristics, and this dude was able to pinpoint where his house was. So we I guess we called his house, and like he didn't really have a house phone, but he wasn't home. Mm-hmm. So we called all the neighbors around him, and finally they said that we got a woman. And my uncle just like he pulled into his house, and he's just like, there was a woman. My neighbor just like walks up to me when I was like getting ready to put down my garage, and just like had this like, oh, your sister called me, and he thought it was my other aunt, but it was actually my mom. So it was just really funny. But I couldn't imagine going through Craigslist, because you're not going to get anything done through Craigslist. I mean, don't think.
You never know. You have to try every outlet that you can think of if you're trying to find someone.
Yeah. I just don't think this is the outlet. I would try a private eye.
Well, yeah, but if you don't have the money for it, especially if your mother's dying.
True. I can't argue with that. For this last post, it's called Biscuits and Gravy. Man for Woman. Met on here. We met up at Crackle Barrel in Chester, came back to my house, and put our biscuits and gravy together. Looking to reconnect. Bam! Now that's an ending.
You only pick that because what it is, but your tagline that you always say.
I always pick on the posts that have the most unique titles, and I just like the line, we came back to my house to put our biscuits and gravy together. Boom!
That's just, wow. You know?
Hey, you know, sometimes you gotta risk it for that biscuit. Or just go on Craigslist and just...
That's risky.
Oh, he's risking it.
Yeah.
But he got breakfast that morning at Crackle Barrel. Maybe played a game on that giant checkerboard that they have on the back.
Yeah.
Sat in the rocking chairs for a bit talking, and then he's like, you want to go back to my place? We can mix our biscuits and gravy together. It's just before Hanukkah.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, that's it.
Nice.
That's all the posts.
Nice.
That's all the news. Sorry for my scatterbrainness for this episode.
I actually enjoyed it at one point.
It wasn't fun
It
trying
was
to work
funny
through it.
watching it.
It wasn't fun trying to work through it. But lesson learned, I will never try to figure out something that I have no idea on how to figure out. And, yeah, it's just super frustrating.
It's going to be okay.
It's not going to be okay.
It is.
But thank you for listening to our podcast for this episode. Leave us a like. Rate us on not Facebook, on iTunes.
Comments.
Leave a yeah. You want to do this one?
I'm trying to figure out what you usually say at the end. Like, comment, and share.
Yeah.
You say something like that.
Yeah. Leave us a rating on iTunes so we know somebody's listening to this besides us.
Yeah, please leave a rating because we really need ratings.
Yeah, that's a joke. We don't need to listen to this. We do them and then we throw them out there. And then
I don't want to listen to myself. That's the problem.
Yeah, and apparently nobody else wants to listen to us either.
No, they don't.
Anyways, at least we're self-aware.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's us. So catch us next week, possibly, maybe, most likely. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Leilani.
Just goodbye.